Full Court Press.
There is no stopping this team!
The Aggies, the Jazz, the high schools. If it's the sport you care about, we're talking about it.
Merrill for the lead. He's got it!
It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Ajay Salvesen.
I'd hate to see how you balance your checkbook.
I'm telling you, I'd hate to see you general manage a team.
Y'all getting paid millions to act like...
The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Ajay Salvesen, AJ Knight on the other side. April 6th here at 4:01, your kickoff time on the Full Court Press. 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. 1069thefan.com and streaming on our 1069 The Fan mobile app. You know, AJ, for winning $185, you just seem really upset about life.
Really? Really? You got to dime me out like that? I didn't post that on the internet. I told that to close friends.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I meant $1.85.
Here's a question for you. So Baylor won me some amount of money that is a total mystery that nobody knows. How long do I have to be fans of them for?
You don't.
No loyalty whatsoever.
No, not at all, man.
Really? Somebody on Facebook told me they had a brother who won a bunch of money thanks to Minnesota. They didn't tell me what they won, like what it was, what the event was. And he said that guy is still day-to-day a fan of Minnesota. Like, even has a hat, and I think a jersey that he went and bought.
Hey, well, congrats on your mysterious winnings. Congratulations.
I'm in me out.
Yeah,
now everybody I know is going to be hitting me up because I got some extra cash to spare. Like winning the lottery.
Oh, man. Yeah. You were very confident in Baylor taking care of business yesterday. And what me and many Gonzaga fans and Gonzaga themselves didn't realize is that Baylor was going to go out there and take this thing and turn it into a street fight. And a street fight it was. In fact, they got rolling, and they got rolling early.
Yeah, I mean...
Butler.
Sorry, always a little highlight roll here.
Butler working, splits two defenders all the way to the rim. Layup is good. Gonzaga in its biggest tournament hole, and we played 2.5 minutes, down 9-0 to Baylor.
Dude, they were down 9-0 to Baylor just like that. I mean, it was a blink of an eye. Didn't even break a sweat, AJ.
Oh, I tweeted when Suggs went to the line, I think it was about under 7 minutes left, I think, in the first half. He hit 2 free throws that gave them 16 points. At that point in time, Gonzaga had 14 points, and Baylor had 13 points off of turnovers.
Man.
They came out. That was what I said. I said they were locked in. I was hoping for an emotional letdown. Gonzaga came out flat, and Baylor came out locked in like they did against Houston, and I expected Gonzaga to make a run, and then even they did a little bit to get to 10. I thought Baylor's offense had some bad play calls, especially that last possession by Mitchell before the first half. I thought that was a terrible play call, and it let Gonzaga get to 10. Baylor came back out, and they kind of traded misses and traded buckets for a little bit. Baylor looked not as locked in, not as focused at the beginning of the first half, but Gonzaga couldn't do anything. And next thing you know, it's back up to 18 or so, and then Gonzaga didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, again, Baylor made 7 first-half threes. In fact, Adam Flagler put the Baylor Bears up 16, which was, at their point, their largest lead.
Davion Mitchell calling for a screen. Gets it from Tchamwa Tchatchoua. Over to Flagler. 3 left wing. Oh, it's good! Everybody's getting a 3 for the Baylor Bears. Flagler rains it down to stretch the lead again to 16. That's 6 for 10 in the first half for the Bears.
That just is terrifying. If you're Gonzaga, not only are you trying to claw yourself back in the game, but they will miss. And then, like you said, Gonzaga tried to make a run of it. They were able to claw it back to, they had to scrape and scratch to get it back to 9. And then with less than about 6 minutes to play, Baylor took over again, and once again, it was Flagler.
Kispert gets blocked by Vital. Baylor on the run the other way. Butler whips it out to the right wing. Flagler's 3 drops. Defense turns to offense. The 3 stretches the lead to 16. Timeout. 12:52 to go in this second half. Everything Baylor throws toward the rim seemingly is going in.
Kevin Kluger, courtesy of Westwood One Radio Sports, which you heard on this very station on 106.9 The Fan. Big thanks to Westwood One for being a part of our NCAA tournament party throughout the last 3 weeks. They were phenomenal in their call. And, of course, your final score, 86-70. Baylor Bears, quote-unquote, upset the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
L.J. Cryer's 3 won't go. Rebound kicked away, taken away by a steal for Mark Patterson, and Patterson will put the brakes on and dribble this one out. And the Baylor Bears do indeed bear down to knock off the unbeaten Gonzaga Bulldogs and claim the school's first men's basketball championship and just the second men's basketball title in the history of the state of Texas.
Isn't it crazy that the last time the state of Texas won a basketball championship was in '66 when Texas Western upset Kentucky? Is that the team?
Oh, yeah. It's what Glory Road's based on, the Texas Western Miners.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's a good movie.
Absolutely. Oh, that's an incredible movie. Again, final score, Baylor 86 and Gonzaga 70, but let's be very honest with each other. Game wasn't even that close at all. It was just, when they got out to that 9-0 lead, you're like, okay, it's a haymaker. You knew it was coming. Let's see how Gonzaga responds. And then all of a sudden they're down 19, and you're thinking they're not even awake. Like, they haven't even got off the carpet yet. This is getting really bad.
No, I mean, one of the reasons I picked Baylor to win is I thought that Gonzaga was going to have a bit of an emotional letdown or just a little bit of a physical letdown from the UCLA game because it was so intense. It was so close. You kind of just barely escaped. And that's how it played out. They came out flat, and Baylor came in locked in. I mean, there's nothing Gonzaga was doing that was correct. Baylor's hitting shots. Baylor was dominating on the boards. Baylor's defense they were just so much faster than Gonzaga was.
That's a great point because Gonzaga wanted to run a couple of times on turnovers and miss buckets, and then all of a sudden they get back there and there's already two Bears waiting for them. And those Baylor Bear defenders would get right in their grill. They weren't afraid to mug Suggs. They weren't afraid to mug Kispert. They weren't afraid to be physical with Miles. Gonzaga made just 5 of 17 from deep. That's their lowest NCAA total of the tournament this season. And I mean, just they struggled all night trying to get into an offense. They struggled all night containing Baylor's offense. I mean, they weren't rotating quick enough. Ball movement was really good from Baylor. Everybody's hands had a touch on the ball. The ball never stuck, and Baylor's offense could not miss.
Well, I think the difference is like somebody like Kispert, who was an All-American. Don't get me wrong, he had some really great plays. That block he had near the rim was really good. Problem is that Kispert, for Gonzaga, as talented as he is, I don't think especially against a team against Baylor, but I think even against some lower-end teams, is he going to take you to the rim? No. Baylor's guards will hit shots in your face, and if you come out and press on them, they will go by you. And that's the problem, is because at the end of Baylor could run the shot clock out, and then whether it was Mitchell, whether it was Butler, Flagler, whoever it was, Teague, they could hit the three, or if you play out close, or they switched, which is what Baylor did. They just kept putting Timmy in the pick and roll. Their guards sized him up, and they took him to the hole every time. He couldn't keep up. And for someone that was a very good player, it was a leader in Gonzaga, and it was reported that if Gonzaga won, he was probably going to be the player of the tournament. He looked overmatched. The only way he really got any offense going is if they got him in a pick and roll and he was diving towards the hoop. And when he had to one-on-one, Baylor's just too physical and too athletic for him, and they just kind of made him ineffective. I mean, I think the only thing you can really argue is that there was some question about that first foul against Suggs on the charge. When I watched it, I thought it was a charge. Regardless, he has to know better because the second foul he picked up was extremely lazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, just being caught on flat feet.
And he just smacked the guy on the forearm. And that, I think, was just kind of a testament to the rest of the night. They just weren't ready. Like, that's just being caught out of position and not prepared. And then Baylor just really didn't give it up. They led from wire to wire.
Before I go any further, I forgot to open up our text line, our Guild Mortgage text line, presented by Guild Mortgage, where you can select from hundreds of loan and products tailored to your needs. 435-294-2480. That is how you get a hold of Guild Mortgage. Our text line, how you get a hold of AJ Knight and myself, is 435-339-0321. You're more than welcome to join the show. Love to hear from you. Get your thoughts on last night's championship game. The other thing, I want to look at the history of Baylor. When Scott Drew came and took over for Baylor, that program, to say it was in shambles is an incredible understatement.
Oh, yeah. It was bad.
They were in very, very bad, incredibly bad situation. I mean, Baylor's player, the Carlton Dotson, had been charged with murdering his own teammate, Patrick Dennehy. Former Baylor head coach Dave Bliss was caught on tape telling players to paint Dennehy as a drug dealer to hide illicit payments and other NCAA violations within the program. And then Drew's third season, the NCAA decided to drop the hammer, ban Baylor from playing in non-conference games. I mean, this was a mess. Don Webb texted in. He says, I guess we've seen what type of players we need for the Aggies to take the next step. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how you can compete with that, even with your own players. What Baylor's got right now is pretty darn impressive, and what Gonzaga's got coming back is just as impressive.
Yeah, I think I saw ESPN, and I think Jeff Goodwin had two different ones.
That way too early stuff?
Yeah, the way too early. So I think ESPN, I didn't read Goodman. I read his on Purdue because he had Purdue fourth. ESPN, I think, has it's Gonzaga, UCLA, Purdue is his top three. But I'd imagine Baylor's going to be up there. I mean, we'll see. I think Suggs is gone. I'd imagine several of the guards are going to be gone from Baylor. I thought Timmy for sure was going to be gone at Kispert, but I don't know. Timmy, I don't know that he's going to have much of an NBA career.
I mean, either.
Kispert, I could see, obviously, is like a JJ Redick role, but we'll see. But they have the number one recruit coming in next year, so they'll be there. But what you said about Baylor is absolutely true. For all the praise that we heaped on, I specifically talked about yesterday about how Mark Few has turned Gonzaga into, it was Colin Cowherd saying yesterday, he said, from David into Goliath. And they're not going anywhere. Baylor's kind of there too. Because you think about it, like everyone looks up at Bill Self, right? And he got the lifetime contract. Kansas extended to him, even though he's in the middle of some serious allegations from last I checked, even though they're taking their sweet time. But everybody talks about Bill Self, right? One national championship. One.
Yeah.
Scott Drew also has one national championship now. I'd also like to reiterate, this is not so much a factor for how Scott Drew does his job, but to me, I think it's a testament of how good he is as a coach, as if his coaching tree succeeds. I just think it's a testament to the type of program he has. And do you know who the three coaches that were Scott Drew assistants are that were in the tournament this year?
I don't. Help me.
His brother Bryce Drew, Homer Drew, or Bryce, I don't know, is at Grand Canyon University.
Okay.
They did not win a game, but they played Iowa. Grant McCaslin is at University of North Texas, who beat my Boilermakers in the first round. And Paul Mills, who you might recognize, was the head coach of Oral Roberts.
That's a heck of a coaching tree.
That's a pretty good start.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yes.
Continue with that timeline of Baylor. So after that third season, he had to fill his roster, so he had open tryouts. The team finished 4-13. And then by 2010, they were all of a sudden in the Elite Eight. That was just 5 years after the NCAA had slashed its schedule in half. And then a few years ago, Drew's on this, taking his team on a tour of this new practice facility. And to unlock the doors, he has to put his hand on this really fancy scanner. And inside the locker rooms, there's large TVs over the Baylor Bear players' lockers. There's a massive theater screen for film sessions. And then there's cool, tubs for post-game recovery. And he just, he almost felt uncomfortable with everything that had been installed because he wasn't used to it. When he started there was nothing even close to that. And now they just beat an undefeated Gonzaga team. I mean, mopped them all over the floor, took them behind a woodshed, whatever cliche you want to use, and shut them down to 70 points. An offense like that.
That bad beat if you took the over, by the way. It was 160. They got to 156.
Did you take the over on it?
I did not. I just bet on the game straight up.
Well, we won't ask how much. Kispert finished 5-12 in 38 minutes, 2-7 from deep for 12 points. Suggs had 22, but he had to work the hard way to get it. 8-15 from the field, 2-5 from deep, 4-6 at the line, and 33 minutes. By the way, the other crazy thing about this, free throws. At one point, Gonzaga has shot 10 more free throws than Baylor, but were trailed by 19 points.
I think at the end of the first half, Gonzaga was 12 of 13 to Baylor's 2 of 2.
2, yeah. There you go. That's what it was.
They were still down 10.
That's just amazing. And then Davian Mitchell is a top 5 pick in my opinion. He is so good. He is so athletic and versatile. I was really impressed with him.
No argument here. He's like I said. They say his nickname's called Off Night, and he definitely made Suggs work for it. Suggs was about the only Gonzaga player to me that looked like they really wanted to be on the court, and two, belonged. I can understand having an off night, but man, Gonzaga they looked overmatched. They weren't ready. But yeah, he's so good at setting up the offense. He's so good defensively. I mean, again, if you didn't watch the game, I cannot reiterate for the probably 3/4 of the first half and probably about the middle 7 to 10 minutes in the second half. Baylor was like moving at twice the speed Gonzaga was, especially to open the game. Baylor was everywhere. You would have told me they had 8 players on the court, I would have bought it because they were just dominating glass. They were just their recovery and help defense on pick and rolls was insane. They were so fast.
Yeah, and then they were physical. I mean, dude, they risked the refs. They said, you know what, refs, call a foul on us. Like, you call the fouls on us.
It got
Let's see how you're reffing it.
Got a little hairy late, but they were able to make the adjustment, I think, in the second half. But it got a little hairy late in the first half.
All right, AJ, so let's recap the NCAA season as a whole for basketball. We start in November. There's a lot of questions of, like, are we going to make it? How many games are going to get canceled? Will we even make it to the NCAA tournament? All in all, I'd say this season was a success. Thoughts? I mean, I know your Purdue Boilermakers choked in the first round, but
yeah, they're young. I think so. I think I was thinking about this. A lot of people are trying to figure out what they thought the tournament. I thought the tournament. I like upsets, so I think they were good. But man, we just didn't really get any of those like classic games. We got UCLA Gonzaga. That was it. The other Final Four game, Baylor crushed Houston. The championship game, Baylor crushed Gonzaga. The tournament as a whole was kind of.
Yeah, but okay, are you going to blame the teams for that, though? Like, why couldn't you have, like, made it close?
In terms of tournaments, I like upsets, but
yeah,
you ended up with probably what everybody agreed was the 2 best teams. And then the games, the last 3 games, which are supposed to be your best team games, only one of them was good. But I'd consider success. They got through. You got a tournament. There were some COVID pauses here and there. Going to happen. I don't really have any criticism for it. I wasn't really criticizing the tournament. I was just saying if we had to rate it, which we would every year, it was kind of meh when you look back on it. The tournament itself.
I thought it was fun. I mean, it was great to have college basketball back. And you know what? I was so grateful to see one shining moment. It was good to see it. I mean, you're giving me the look of like, well, it's stupid. It's cheesy, Ajay.
I skipped it.
How dare you? That is a tradition.
I was celebrating winning at least $4 of dollars.
Oh man, you're so happy with yourself.
I mean,
you took a risky bet and you won.
I did. I loved the start. I didn't expect it to last. I got a little upset near the end of the first half, but they're still up 10. And they really didn't relent. It was kind of nice. Kind of nice to be on top the entire time of that game.
Don Webb just texted into me, Ajay, if you want to know how Gonzaga felt, I'll meet you at the rec center tomorrow.
Oof.
Here's the thing. It's Don. Okay, 4 things. 1, Don's 65 years old. If you touch him, he's going to break his ribs. 2, Don used to play on a basketball team, but he didn't play. He was the bench guy. I'm not even joking. He was the end of the bench guy. Why? Because 3, he was like 5'0". 4, if you saw him shot a basketball, you ever seen Along Came Polly with
yes.
it Paul Seymour Hoffman, whatever his name is?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, and he white chocolate.
Yep, that's what I shout every time I play basketball. Every time I play anything.
See,
actually.
I yell Kobe when I shoot the ball. Don Webb yells like white chocolate.
Raindrops.
Raindrop. He is Spike Lee. Really good trash talker, a horrible athlete. That's what Don is. So, I mean, I can meet you at the rec center tomorrow, but I probably have better things to do with my time than beat you and shut you out in a basketball game. Okay, so you talked about the way too early top 25. Here's what they got in the top 5 and for ESPN. He's got Gonzaga,
yep.
UCLA,
probably
Purdue at 3.
Yep, they have no seniors.
You're kosher with that?
I think they're a top 10 team. I would like to see them get an experienced guard that can score to really solidify them. But yeah, they have no seniors. They're going to be up there.
Ohio State's 4, Kansas is 5. Villanova's at 7. Dude, what? Like Maryland's at 6.
That one I've read Purdue post. Nobody gets that one. They think that's way too high.
Yeah, that's.
I don't buy.
Baylor's at 11.
We'll see. I don't buy UCLA because I think they're going to lose some talent. I'm telling you right now, I absolutely do not buy Ohio State. They are not that good a team. And I think they're going to lose a little bit of talent. Even if they don't, I really don't think they're going to be that good. But I'm good with the top 3.
Blue Bloods, North Carolina, Kentucky are 18, 19. Oregon's at 20. 21 is Colorado State.
They have seniors? You would know better than anybody else.
Yeah, dude, they're going to be loaded too. They've got everybody coming back. They got everybody coming back.
There you go.
Moore, Stevens, Thistlewood, Roddy. All of them averaged double digits in points. All of them, or 3 of them, averaged close to double digit in rebounds.
No coaching change either.
Yeah, and Niko Medved stays.
It's a big deal.
Which is kind of surprising. He went and interviewed at a bunch of different places because he has that starting line and come back. Just come back for another year and see what you do with it.
Yeah, maybe you want to get your name and get your name
in the
out
pool.
there. Yeah, it's never a bad idea to network and see what happens. But yeah, because they what is it? Memphis won, right? The NIT or not? Yeah, the NIT. But Colorado State got in the Final Four? Is that where they finished?
Yep.
So
wait, for the NIT, yeah.
Yeah. It was solid. Solid. It's good tournament experience. I think that's one of the things. I talked to my friend about this a lot. It was more so in reference to the Big Ten, but like a team like Illinois, I feel like really struggled from not having a tournament last year because they were so young. And so I think it would have benefited them. Loyola was criminally underseeded. That didn't help, but I think that tournament experience definitely helps. But that's Colorado State is going to be somebody to watch. I'd imagine San Diego State is somebody that everybody keeps their eyes on too, just because they've been so good, especially the last few seasons. But yeah, I'm good with it. I'm not sure. You got to wait and see who actually leaves for the NBA draft, and then you can. I'd prefer they wait and make the way too early then because the recruits haven't signed. You don't know who's declaring.
And transfer portal's going nuts, right? There's that. Hey, by the way, there is now, and it's accounted for, 1,600 kids in the transfer portal.
It's nuts.
1,600 kids in that transfer portal.
I respect the NCAA for giving everyone a mulligan, right? So they gave everybody a free year, and I get that. I really think it was a half-hearted solution, though, because the problem is, and you and I think, talked about this ad nauseum late last year when Utah State football was getting ready to go. The problem is that they didn't give you like a 1-year moratorium on the scholarship limit. So it puts such a huge thing to figure out because you're like, all right, who's going to stay? Do we want them to stay? All right, how many scholarships are out? How do we recruit? Because the thing is like if you have like Utah State, for instance, for the football team, I remember talking about it. I can't remember with who, but talking to somebody, and they said, a lot of the teams coming back. It wasn't a very, senior heavy team. But the problem is that, okay, great. You want to have experience, but you also don't want to like skip a recruiting cycle because then that's really going to hurt you down the road. And so I think the NCAA could have tried to figure something out. Like here's a 1-year scholarship maximum to kind of sort this out. Then you're really going to have to get things figured out the year after. Because you think about that.
You really thought that through.
Well, if you think about it, there's seniors can stay. Everybody can stay another year. The transfer portal's gone crazy, and you still got to recruit freshmen.
Yeah.
How do you balance that all out while still having the exact same amount of scholarships? Doesn't make any sense.
Hey, before we go to break, I want to talk about Gonzaga as well. They're 40 minutes away from an undefeated season, first in 76 of the Indiana Hoosiers. And then 10 minutes into this game, it was over. I mean, it was over. Dude, I mean, watching the way Baylor played, I mean, okay, first 5 minutes, questionable. Like the next
probably
10 minutes into that, though,
I think
Baylor was on another level.
I think Gonzaga had a chance early in the second half to get it into single digits and then didn't, and then Baylor woke back up, and that was it.
Because they've lost another national championship game before, I believe 2 actually. They lost to North Carolina in 2017.
Yep.
But how much does this one sting? I mean, you're playing the number.
Much.
I mean, you're playing a 1 seed, but to be that good and you have the talent of Suggs, Kispert, Miles, and you just get outplayed, outcoached, out physical by a Baylor team who was incredibly much more athletic too.
so much because just because of the historical context. Because I think one of the best tweets I saw last night is that, and I still don't understand how people make this argument. So many people going into this were criticizing Gonzaga's conference, and I get it. It's not a good conference, and you can maybe make an argument. It's easy for them to inflate their numbers there, but does everybody forget who Gonzaga played in the non-conference? They beat the crap out of Kansas. They beat the crap, or West Virginia, they beat them by single digits. They absolutely smacked Iowa. Like, they played one of the toughest non-conference schedules I've ever seen, and everyone seems to check that way. I think everybody forgets Baylor was also this good. Everybody was talking about Baylor and Gonzaga potentially being undefeated facing each other, and then Baylor got COVID. So I think it hurts as well because I don't think it's fair. I think Gonzaga's a powerhouse. They're going to be right back here next year, but I think people are going to be like, well, see, it's because they play in the WCC. They're not really that good, and it's crap. Baylor was just amazing.
Yeah, Baylor was incredible. And I got to be honest, it just surprised me to see Gonzaga taken that off guard by Baylor and their athleticism. Like that, they would underestimate their ability to get to the rim. They underestimated their ability to be able to move the ball for open looks. Gonzaga, I wouldn't say they took it lightly, but man, they just didn't look like they were prepared enough for that game at all. And it wasn't like Baylor did anything different. They just did it better. Unbelievable.
Here's a good, I think we're going to get to this. Here's a text from 2787.
Hit me.
So the second part says, the game last night was a big letdown. Baylor looked outstanding. Gonzaga forgot to get off the bus.
Yep, I would say. Yep.
I think the biggest thing that I would be upset about is I don't feel like Mark Few adjusted. It was quite evident that Scott Drew said, all right, we're going to put Timmy in the pick and roll because they're going to switch, and he's not going to be able to stick with our guards. And we're going to get open shots because our guards can get past anybody at any given time. Sure. And then it just seemed like Gonzaga couldn't figure out. They didn't really adjust.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing. And Suggs had to work for everything he got. I mean, everything he got, he had to work for.
And he was like the only one.
Yeah, and that's right. And Kispert was way off. Yep. Miles was getting beat up so badly in the post that he didn't quit trying, but he just, by like midway through the second half, he just said, I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted. I mean, they were just working him to death, and they were throwing him around in the paint. It was really impressive what Baylor did.
I told you watch Timmy. He gets away with a few more offensive fouls than normally got called. They called a few of them last night. Yeah, they were big ones.
Yeah, a couple of them I think Miles didn't see coming either, and he was pretty upset when they blew the whistle. But again, your final score, 86-70. Baylor is your national champions, and that concludes the 2020-21 season. So we'll look forward to the 21-22 season, which involves a bunch of new head coaches from North Carolina to San Jose State to Utah State. In fact, 2787 asked us, how do you feel about the USU's new head coaching hire? We'll talk about that next. It's all coming up on the Full Court Press. 106.9, The Fan.
It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Ajay Salvesen.
Eric!
Because I knew you'd read it.
When you exit the show, you leave the show for the day. You do not text into the show while you're at your boy's birthday party. He's like, hey, Dad, we take a photo? No, really busy texting into the Full Court Press right now. What is your problem?
They were late. I was sitting in the lobby. I had to do something.
So you text our show. You are grounded. You are absolutely grounded.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM.
Cache Valley is absolutely beautiful. It's always fun to be outdoors. And now is the time to let the Allergy Clinic inside the Cache Valley Hospital help with venom testing for spring and summer. The Allergy Clinic offers testing and treatment to life-threatening stings from honeybees, yellow jackets, white-faced hornets, yellow hornets, and wasps. Independent physicians Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette offer Cache Valley a full-time allergy clinic in 2 locations, Providence and inside the Cache Valley Hospital. The Allergy Clinic accepts most insurances, including SelectMed. Call the Allergy Clinic at 753-7880, 753-7880.
Hi, this is Ashley with LSS Insurance. Have you heard? The marketplace is making major changes. Improvements to affordability through the health insurance marketplace by increasing financial assistance, lowering your premiums, and more generous cost sharing to lower your out-of-pocket max. If you have coverage, come in to see if you can save even more. Never applied? We can help. Go to lssins.com or call 752-9493. That's 752-9493.
When it's time for a new haircut, don't cut into your wallet. At New Horizons Beauty College, haircuts, color, highlights, pedicures, and manicures are far less expensive than going to a salon. The students at New Horizons Beauty College are trained in all the latest trends and techniques. You'll get a great look at a great price. Plus, New Horizons has great prices on the products to help you maintain that new look. All services performed by students and closely supervised by licensed instructors. New Horizons Beauty College, 550 North Main in the Clock Tower Plaza in Logan.
Paralyzed Veterans of America, National Service Officers.
We've got an entire generation of men and women who have seen war. They're going to need voices.
Paralyzed Veterans of America represents them.
Changing lives, building futures. That's Paralyzed Veterans of America. To learn more, visit pva.org. A public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Full Court Press, Agent Adam, Ajay, Salvesen, 431 here on a Tuesday, April 6th. Dude, AJ, I hate this weather.
Luckily, it's supposed to only last for a day.
Really?
It's supposed to.
Is it coming? So we're going to get back to nice, good stuff?
Supposed to be sunny and 60 tomorrow.
If it's not, I'm moving to India. I'll do it. I swear I'll move. Again, 2787, text into our show. And if you want to text into the Gill Mortgage text line, 435-339-0321. We've had one text in the first 30 minutes. That's got to be a show low.
I'm telling you, it's because everybody just agrees with what we're saying.
I actually like how you put that. I'm going with you on that one. 2787 text in the show. How do you feel about the USU new coaching hire? That is Ryan Odom, formerly of UMBC. Of course, that Ryan Odom who upset Virginia 3 years ago, right? In the NCAA tournament, I believe, in March. Where Tony Bennett's
4
number one.
So Baylor, not last year, Virginia, and then whatever that year was.
So 4.
Yeah. 4 tournaments ago.
Okay. So 4 it is. I like this hire for a number of reasons. 1, he's got great coaching experience. 2, he's well respected in the industry. We're going to get to that more in just a bit. 3, he's never coached in the western side of the states, but I don't think that's going to be. I kind of threw my concerns out a little bit yesterday, but after talking to a couple people, there's no reason to be concerned about it at all. Period. None.
I wasn't worried about it. I think if you're a good coach, you'll be able to find talent. You'll be able to coach up your guys. You can recruit. Yeah.
By the way, Jacob Nielsen of the Utah Statesman tweeted out the 5-year deal salary. Here it is.
I know I'm in the wrong business, right?
Makes 2 of us. So year 1, which is 21 to 22, is $791 or $791,796. 22 to 23 is $800,000. As is 23 to 24. Or excuse me, we'll just go 22 to 26 is $800,000 each year.
Here's a question for you. Does he make it to the next contract? This is pure speculation.
Okay, so that would be after the 5 years.
Yeah.
Does he make it?
Yeah, so either he leaves, gets fired, or he's still here.
Man.
See, this is funny because I put Ajay in a tough place.
Yeah, you did.
Because Ajay's all this, right? Ajay's the secret fly in the wall, and he's like, I don't know, guys. I heard this stuff. I'm not really sure where I heard it from.
Shut it. Does he make it? If he doesn't and he leaves to another place, like a big-time job, that's the best news we could have heard. Because that means he won here, and he won fast.
I agree.
And decides to move on.
But that wasn't the question I asked you. I completely agree, because that's my answer. I don't think he does. I think he wins here, and he's gone before 2026 comes to its conclusion. The season does. I think, what was it? I think the 80s. I think the 80s back in the hiring department before 2026.
9835. Here's text number 2 of the show. Thanks. Cody, here's the thing. Cody is supposed to be working right now, delivering some big pizzas, and instead he's texting. So if you're Domino's and you're listening to us, your employee is texting instead of delivering me my supreme pizza, large, garlic crust, with wings. Man, do I have to? Okay. He's going.
Unless you think he's going to get fired, I don't know why you'd be worried about saying it.
He's not going to get fired.
It's either yes or no. You don't even have to explain.
I don't even have a comment. No. Okay, so he is not going to be leaving.
2787. If he wins, he will not. If he loses, he will not. And if he's average, he will stay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, AJ. If he wins, he will not leave. If he loses, he will not leave. And if he's average, okay, look. I'm going to say he's gone, but it's because he takes a better job.
I agree. I think the same thing. I think he's a good hire. I think USU's in a good position. He has his work cut out for him. I think USU absolutely needs to hit the transfer portal. That's difficult to say. Hard to be competitive for this next season, especially we already talked about Colorado State's in the way too early top 25 because of the talent and the coach they're returning. I know we're going to get to the coaches that have been added to the Mountain West. I think the coaching talent has definitely improved in the conference as a whole. But I think Ajay hit on it a lot yesterday. For seeing what we've seen from UMBC, he definitely plays a brand of basketball that fans are definitely going to get excited about. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fast. I think he's a good coach. So I absolutely think that he will continue the success that Craig Smith started.
So here is a little bit of a tidbit on Ryan Odom.
Uh-oh.
He's the son of longtime basketball coach Dave Odom, who won a total of 402 games over 22 years at Wake Forest, South Carolina, and East Carolina, and guided the Demon Deacons to an Elite Eight in the 1996 NCAA tournament.
Good experience.
Now, Ryan comes to Utah State after going 97-60 over the last 5 years as the head coach. The Golden Retrievers played just 20 games in 2021. They finished 14-6 overall, tied for first in their American East Conference, but fell short in the conference tournament. They lost to UMass in the semifinals by 2. But yeah, Odom was named Conference Coach of the Year. Now, I looked at a lot of national experts when the announcement came out.
Yes.
And they were shocked. They didn't see it coming.
I say that was not one of the ones I had seen predicted. You told us yesterday that you'd heard some murmurs about it, but it was not one that a lot of people had tied to Utah State.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely spot on. In fact, a little bit of a fun fact here. Marco Anthony was formerly on the Virginia team that lost to Ryan Odom's UMBC squad in 2018. So they know each other.
Yeah,
sort
I'm
of.
sure. And, Marco Anthony gets the last laugh because, correct me if I'm wrong, Marco Anthony was on that Virginia team that won, and then he transferred that summer. So I'm sure if Coach Odom says anything, Anthony's like, oh, man, my hand's just so heavy with this ring. Oh, did you see this?
Wait, Marco?
Yeah.
Was he on that? Yeah, I guess he was on that.
Yeah, because last year's his first year at USU.
He's the 20th head coach in Utah State basketball history, and according to Scott Gerard, this is really cool. Ryan Odom has strong connections with the Utah Jazz. How? His brother Lane Odom is a scout for the Utah Jazz, and Quinn Snyder has been close with the Odom family for decades. In fact, Odom also recruited Dennis Lindsey, who's the general manager for Utah, his son, Matt, and left a strong impression on the family.
What that says is he recruited Lindsey's son. He didn't get him.
He didn't get him.
He recruited him.
But he left a strong impression.
Look, well, there you go. There's some alleviations to the worry about him not coaching or not even being to the west of the Mississippi. He's got some Jazz ties, so he landed in a good spot.
Really strong Jazz ties.
I think a couple of good people to get on the phone.
Yeah, no kidding. People who have a little bit of knowledge, persuasion.
Midge.
No. Again, I think Mr. Hartwell and Mr. Bovey absolutely killed it on the hiring. I mean, this is just a great, great, great hire. Speaking of which, he will be officially introduced as the Utah State men's basketball coach tomorrow at 11 a.m. in a presser. That presser will be closed to the general public. AJ will be open to you and I as the media.
Score.
But if you are looking to hear the interview, it will be on this very station, 106.9 The Fan.
We got you covered.
We will air it live. And it'll also be broadcasted on the Utah State Aggies website. You can find it on there. I'm sure it'll be on their front page where you can watch it and see Coach Odom give his opening comments. And I'm sure players and members of the staff might be there as well. So, yeah, it will be closed to the general public. But, again, AJ and I will be there. Can't wait. Well, AJ might not be there, but I will.
We got you.
And then we will play the audio tomorrow as well. We'll have to shrink down some things, but we'll play the audio so you guys can hear it again from Coach Odom and Utah State. Again, they'll be announced tomorrow at 11 a.m. officially. Speaking of coaching moves, this Mountain West Conference in regards to coaches is getting really juicy. Tim Miles, who created the Craig Smith of basketball coaching, is now going to be the head coach at San Jose State. Former guy at Colorado State, where Craig was an assistant underneath Tim, was named officially the basketball coach on Tuesday. Reports kind of emerged Monday that Miles and San Jose State were nearing an agreement.
Did you see this? This is qualified stats, but your minds. Do you know how Chris Beard, right? He waited till his buyout dropped on April 1st to sign with Texas.
Yeah.
You see this stat here about Miles? So he was owed $105,000 per month through March of this year by Nebraska. And then conveniently, right, the March ends, and he's like, oh, yeah, okay, I can be the coach. Make sure to get all his Nebraska money.
Oh, man. I didn't know that. Oh, jeez. Miles led Colorado State from 2007 to 12. He went 71-88 in 5 seasons. But he took Colorado State from the doormat of the program with an 0-16 record in his first year to an NCAA tournament team by his last season. They went 20-12, made the NCAA tournament in 2012, lost to Murray State before Nebraska, then went and grabbed Miles. He went 116-114 at Nebraska. He was fired following the 2019 season because Nebraska is way, way overrated in regards to basketball. He's been in the media since. I think he's been working with Fox Sports a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
So. Yeah.
And he's, as you mentioned, he's owed $105,000 per month through March 2021, which is about $2.5 million. That's grandeur work by Coach Miles.
Hey, cashed in all his money. Now
Absolutely.
I got a new payday.
Hey, you're going to fire me? Well, I'm going to take every penny out of you guys.
I would.
That's smart.
It's kind of I don't know if anybody remembers, being a Big Ten fan, I do. So they waffled, I think, for a little bit. They had interviewed, if I remember correctly, somebody, and then they decided not to. And it was widely reported that they wanted to get rid of him, and then the players and everybody said no, and they were like, and then they were like, all right, Hoiberg. And then they hired someone anyway. It was just kind of a bad situation. It's Nebraska athletics. They're kind of crap.
It's Big Ten, people. AJ's not a fan of anybody in the Big Ten except for Purdue.
That's not totally true.
Mountain West Conference men's basketball coaching looks like this right now, AJ. Steve Alford at Nevada, Brian Dutcher at San Diego State, Tim Miles now at San Jose State, Ryan Odom's at Utah State, Richard Pitino is at New Mexico, and Leon Rice is at Boise State.
Well, I mean, one of those things is not like the other. One of those things just doesn't belong. I know he texts into our show all the time, but I'm sorry, you don't get to be in the same sentence as the rest of those guys, Mr. Boise State, when you blow it at the end of every season.
When you can't win in March.
Yeah, I think I would mention Nico Medved before I'd mention any Leon Rice.
Are you surprised Nico Medved didn't get a job anywhere else? I mean, I know Colorado State was still, they made the NIT, semifinal not too bad.
No, when you think about it, though, because if you look at it, what jobs actually were filled? UNC went in-house.
Yeah.
Texas went with Beard. Texas Tech went in-house.
Marquette went with Texas Tech or Texas coach.
Went with Shaka Smart, and so that was more
and
of a
Oklahoma took Loyola Chicago, who the guy had been there for 10 years winning without breaking a sweat.
And so I would take, no offense to Medved, I think he's a good coach, but I would take the Loyola coach over him. So really the only job that got filled was, I guess, technically Marquette, Texas, and Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, they picked the right candidate. Texas kind of just shuffled the deck. I think Beard's better than Shaka Smart.
Threw the card.
So there really wasn't that many jobs open for the way it looked because there weren't. So I think he's back, like you said. I think they're going to be a really good team. I'd imagine off the top of my head, not knowing who's going to return, and we'll see with the NBA and transfers and all that. Obviously, Colorado State's going to be one of the favorites to win the Mountain West. And they were on the cusp of the NCAA tournament this year, so I'd imagine they will be in next year, barring unforeseen circumstances.
Like you said, and they got all 5 guys coming back. We're talking Isaiah Stevens, Roddy, Thistlewood. That team is coming back with a vengeance.
I tweeted last night, I said that being someone who's not from the Mountain West footprint, this conference as a whole, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday on the show, football and basketball deserves a lot more attention than it gets, especially basketball. The coaching talent is very good. I'm not as high on Pitino, but Dutcher, Alford, now Miles. I think USU's coach Odom is a good hire. Medved's a good guy. I mean, there's a lot of great coaching talent.
Did you just say Leon Rice too? You said Leon Rice is in there.
No, he's not.
I'm pretty sure I heard
he's different.
Leon Rice.
Look, if they just spent more money and the Mountain West didn't cater to them all the time, then they would have maybe potentially not blown like the last 8 games that they lost.
They lost 5 of the last 6, man. That's amazing.
Wah, 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 all the way home.
All right, let's take a break. Coming back, we'll get more of the Full Court Press here on 106.9 The Fan.
Welcome to the program.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
I never thought about his golfing career, if it was going to continue. When you get to be 45 or 46, just normal golfers on tour, you don't play competitive golf at a very high level on a consistent basis. But he's already had his career defined. I think he's the greatest golfer of all time.
Dan Patrick. The Dan Patrick Show.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
We all believe our team is the best. Whether you're a Bobcat, a Wolf, a Grizzly, a Mustang, or a Riverhawk, we can all agree on one thing. Les Olson Company is the best choice for your office technology needs. So if you need to copy it, print it, scan it, or network it, Les Olson Company is there for all of your office technology needs. Just Les Olson it. Visit lesolsonit.com today.
Les Olson Company. The Elements lunch menu is full of delicious items prepared with a personal touch at an affordable price. Elements wood-fired pizzas and calzones are an excellent choice for lunch that include barbecue chicken, classic pepperoni, or the whiteout with garlic cream, parmesan, house ricotta, and fresh mozzarella. From batter to order halibut with seasoned fries to the fan favorite Thai shrimp curry and more. Lunch at Elements is also available for takeout. Casual or professional. Open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner. Visit theelementsrestaurant.com for reservations.
It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Ajay Salvesen.
Thank you for being along the ride with us.
Our listeners are incredible.
Awesome.
They really are, Eric. Greatly appreciate them and are grateful you guys are part of the Full Court Press with us. 2776, where's AJ? I'm out of here. You know.
It's AJ.
You want to know where AJ is? I'll go get AJ for you.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, please go to AmericanHumane.org to learn about their Pups for Patriots program, which provides specially trained service dogs to veterans in need. Let's help our veterans heal from the invisible wounds of war.
The Aggies, the Jazz, the high schools, the Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
AJ Knight's here.
I am.
According to our listeners, that's all that matters, is that AJ Knight is here.
That's clearly.
Nobody else matters except for AJ Knight. Makes me sick.
That is not true at all.
No, it is true. And I mean, whatever. Okay, it's fine. I'll deal with it. Y'all. Hey, by the way, actually, no, we'll save the NBA news here for the second hour because we got to talk Jazz basketball. The ESPN did their top 25 or top 25 players who are 25 and under, and you're not going to believe, well, you probably will if it's ESPN, but you're not going to believe where ESPN put LaMelo Ball.
I got to guess.
I'm sure you do. Hey, I was looking at some baseball stuff. I know we're only like 4 games into the season, so, I mean, calm down, right? But, dude, Oakland's 0-5. What the fetch? I didn't know that. And all 5 games were at home.
Yeah, what was it? They played Houston, right? They started against Houston.
Yeah.
We talk about how Houston dismantled them. How about one of my favorite memes I've already seen this season, I guess, in what's Boston's park's called?
Wait, what park? Fenway Park.
Fenway. In Fenway, they have a sign behind home plate that says "Kids eat free when Boston wins." Somebody tweeted a picture of that and said, "Man, the kids in Boston are gonna go starving." They're bad,
dude. They are. They're 1-3 right now.
Terrible.
My Braves are 0-3 right now, which is good. They're not going to make the playoffs. Going to continue.
First psychology for Ajay.
Yes, absolutely. You can see Philadelphia Phillies are 4-0. Dodgers are 4-1. Padres are 3-2. Hey, your Cubs were 3-1 next to the Reds.
I wouldn't get my hopes up quite yet.
Oh, you're good, man. You're doing good. You're hanging in there for dear life.
Yeah, right.
Salt Lake Bees, the Major League affiliate, the Los Angeles of Anaheim Angels continue to just, they're good, 4-1, but now they're playing the Houston Astros, and Cray just crushed a 2-run homer to give them a 4-2 lead going into the bottom of the ninth.
That's not fair. He's not a AAA player.
Not only that.
That homer shouldn't count.
Not only that, but he probably was wired. And there's probably drums and whistling.
Oh, no.
No, I'm going to be that guy. And you know what? I should be that guy. Someone's got to be that guy.
That's fair.
You get me?
I'm with you. I think it's total crap. The argument was they couldn't figure out who to punish, so they didn't punish any of the players. Just got rid of the GM and the manager, and that lasted because Hinch he's in Detroit now. I think it's total crap. I think they should have absolutely punished the players. I think they should have stripped them of the World Series.
Let's see here. Giants and Padres play later tonight. That's actually the nightcapper of the day. And then the 2 games on ESPN will be the Mets and Phillies. Mets are 0-1. Oh, yeah, they had a bunch of games canceled, versus Washington.
Yep.
That's right. And then Tampa Bay and Boston.
Yeah.
I'm with you. There's nothing there.
Very blah.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, are you a big fan? I used to be a big fan of Sunday Night Baseball, but now that it's like Yankees, Boston, and anybody that the Yankees and Boston are playing, it's kind of getting old. I'm not a big fan of it anymore.
I tap in occasionally. I don't know about you, but a fair amount of the broadcast teams, the television broadcast teams, I can't stand.
Yeah.
For baseball.
Yeah, Washington's is probably the worst, to be honest with you.
Like, A-Rod should not be there. I don't think he's good. No, I'm not into it.
Hey, do you remember? I steal my favorite TV clip, and I'm sure everybody's seen it, is when the Cincinnati Reds TV guy made that inappropriate remark, and then he's like making his apology live on air, and I can't remember who crushed a home run, and he just calls it. Like in the middle of his apology, and he goes, "That's a 2-run homer by so-and-so. Makes the score 3-4 here at the bottom of the 5th. And then he just goes back into his apology. Like, doesn't even faze him.
Yeah, he's got to keep the game going. Got to keep it going.
I'm about to lose my job, and I'm going to get fired. By the way, 3-run homer by Remarkin is up and gone. That's in the left field, so it's
Nick Castellanos blasts that one off the left.
5-4 Reds. I will no longer be the voice of the Reds, and I gotta find that audio for you now, because that, dude, it is freaking funny. I gotta find this. I gotta play it for you. I gotta find this somehow. Dang it. And I'm going to. And then when I do, I'm going to play it for you. You would absolutely get a kick. Oh, here it is. Let's see. So I don't want to make sure I don't play the slur.
That would be a good idea. Otherwise, you're going to have to do the exact same thing. So the Jazz last night, and I am so sorry. I am so sorry for playing that on the air.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can't find the video right now, but when I do, I'll play it for you. You'll get a kick out of it. All right, let's take a break. Coming back, we'll wrap up the first hour of the Full Court Press. A lot of NBA talk here in hour number 2, plus a stat that blew our mind and our player of the week.
This is The Herd.
The winner in this is also
Colin Cowherd.
Tiger Woods was driving way too fast on a road nobody should drive fast on. He has, through the years, liked driving fast. It mirrors his life. And as one of the great writers of the 20th century once wrote, F. Scott Fitzgerald, find me a hero, and I'll write you a tragedy.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Here's Chad Norton, the lawn doctor, with another tip for your lawn.
It's been a wet, cool, crazy year for your lawn. Soil temperatures have been slow to warm up. Over the next few weeks, you'll see weeds fight for space and try to take over your lawn. Dandelions pack about 200 seeds on each flower. Those seeds can blow up to 5 miles and live up to 7 years. We can help you win the weed battle. Call the Lawn Doctor at 753-LAWN or go to lawndoctor.com.
Are you a small business owner? Who's your bank? This is Bruce Rigby. I want to invite you to bank with us at Cache Valley Bank. We specialize in helping small business, and we have great people. That's the Cache Valley Bank difference. Decisions made locally, without all the red tape, by people who care and know how to help small business. Cache Valley Bank, growing, expanding, and proud to have our roots firmly planted in Cache Valley. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
talking the sports you care about. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
All right, so AJ, here is the apology from the Reds announcer.
Oh, boy.
After the home run, by the way, ended up in the judgment-free zone. And this is after the Reds announcer. I made a homophobic slur. And this is his apology and calling the home run. Listen to this.
Castellanos to lead things off. Jim Day's going to be taking us the rest of the way through this game as Holland takes over on the mound. I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there,
I'm going to try and skip ahead here, find a home run.
I pride myself it will be a home run.
Oh, here it is. So here it is.
Pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
Really
and so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know.
I'm
so
trying to make it a fun of the ball game.
So they obviously want him to segue. Well, no, I don't even get that. Like, so why is he still on if they're like, all right, we're not going to let you finish it?
So they're taking him off after the inning. We got like 5 seconds left, but they're taking him off at the end of the inning.
Oh, jeez.
The Aggies, the Jazz, the high schools. If it's the sport you care about, we're talking about it.
Merrill for the lead. He's got it!
It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Ajay Salvesen.
I'd hate to see how you balance your checkbook.
I'm telling you, I'd hate to see you general manage a team.
Y'all getting paid millions to act like...
The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
We aren't getting paid millions, but we do get paid. AJ and Adam, Ajay Salvesen here on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. Streaming on 1069thefan.com. And, of course, you're carrying us with the 1069 The Fan mobile app. AJ, how you doing over there? You've been kind of quiet today.
Kind of quiet, whatever. I've been dropping knowledge bombs left and right.
Knowledge bombs left and right. Dude, I'm telling you, like, this clip is just so funny. I was dying. I probably shouldn't be laughing this hard because of the...
If he already said something stupid on air, I get the
but
just kick him out. Just get rid of him.
Yeah, but how do you get rid? I think they came over and they said, "Look, we're going to give you an on-air apology, and then we want you out of here." Right?
You got 30 seconds, and we're out. I don't care if there's a home run, nothing. You gone.
You're gone.
So very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.
Oh, God. And the part, and the most irony of it all is that he hits it into the judgment-free zone.
Oops.
Oh, man.
Irony is not lost on Nick Castellanos. What the guy's apologizing? Let me just put one over here.
Hey, so Utah State, again, the official announcement of Ryan Odom as the new head basketball coach at Utah State will be coming through tomorrow in a press conference, which starts at 11 a.m., media only. General public, you can hear it on this very station on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, and then it'll also be streamed on UtahStateAggies.com website. But Jay Billis went out and put a bit about Ryan Odom. You ready for this, man? Listen. Quote, Ryan Odom is an inspired choice to lead the Utah State program. Ryan has basketball in his blood and has a clear vision of exactly who he is and where he will take the Aggies program. He is a great teacher and strategist, and his players know they have him in their corner. Always. Ryan Odom is a coach whom you want to mentor your son on and off the floor, end quote. That's from Jay Billis about Ryan Odom. Dude, he's getting all sorts of references, man.
I like it. I think it's a good hire. I think the Utah State Athletic Department did a great job having to hire a football and basketball coach in the same athletic year. Crushed it.
Hey, I'm getting some crap from BYU and Utah fans. Who would you say, as a Purdue Boilermaker fan, is your BYU in Utah for you?
Okay, so let me ask this: how would you define? So when you say my BYU, what are the characteristics I'm looking for?
Annoying, arrogant, selfish, dumb, incompetent, and just like. I could go on, but I got to be careful.
So, what is their history here? They're successful. Where do they stand in terms of state competitiveness? So I would say probably the BYU of Indiana is IU, but that would probably make Purdue the Utah of Indiana.
Okay, so I can see BYU being the Indiana for you. Absolutely.
They think they're awesome.
Because they won these national championships 65 years ago, and they still think that they're national champions today.
Yeah.
Hey, we won the national championship in 1984. Okay?
Right.
So we're the national. So that would be that would be Indiana, would be my BYU would be.
Okay. 3 years ago when Purdue went to the Elite Eight, I was reading IU fans on Twitter were like, oh, yeah, well, when's the last time that happened? And people were like, when's the last time IU win?
Okay, so here is what Utah is to me, and then I want you to put a Utah for you as a Purdue Boilermaker guy.
Okay.
Utah, very successful,
okay,
can win games, but when they get to the biggest games, they choke, but they still want you to know that they got to a bigger game than you, and they think that their hierarchy is more than you. Like that they are always going to be better than you no matter what happens because of facilities or because of this or because of that.
I would say that has to be Notre Dame. More so their football program than their basketball program. Wow. Man,
really? That'd be your Purdue? Really?
I think so. I mean, it's Purdue. Purdue definitely chokes, has a history recently at least of choking big games. I don't think our fans are super arrogant, super passionate, but we're definitely cynical. But no, that's Notre Dame. Like, everyone's, no, we made it to the BCF playoffs, and then we got crushed by 20 points, but we were there. You didn't have a chance. We were there. Who cares? That's Notre Dame. Also, how about this? We have another text. I promise I'm going to get to you, 6328, but 9948. It's hard to say the Aggies crushed it with the new coaches, considering they haven't even coached a game for the Aggies. I thought they crushed it with Brent Guy, too. Well, I think that goes without saying, but
9948. If you thought Brent Guy was going to crush it, you should have known that well before the hire that wasn't going to happen.
Well, I think I'll let Ajay take that part for me. Obviously, until they coach, you don't know for sure. But look, Coach Odom was not tied to USU. I think he's an incredibly great candidate. Coach, help me, Ajay. What's the football coach name? Blanking.
Blake Anderson.
Blake Anderson. Ajay will test this more as someone who's around the program a lot more. That's a steal.
Yeah.
The Aggies absolutely got a steal.
Yeah, that's Hartwell that's Hartwell doing his job and doing it very well with the Blake Anderson hire.
He had interviewed for Power 5 jobs and turned them down because of just his situation. That is an absolute steal.
And if you don't believe that, look at his staff. His staff is monumental. It is really, really good.
Look, I think that Coach Anderson is an absolute steal for the Aggies because I think he absolutely could have gone, no offense to Utah State, but somewhere bigger. And I think Coach Odom is going to be much in line of Coach Smith. Obviously, he's got a little bit more name recognition because what he did at UMBC. That's, I think, a testament to where Utah State is now. But again, he's another guy that's still kind of cutting his teeth. I think Utah State's going to be very pleased with.
Yeah,
I think they crushed it.
I can tell you right now, the players have spoke with him, I believe over Zoom, and they were very impressed. They were very, very impressed with him and how he's handled the situation. Because look, you lose a coach the way that these kids did. I mean, it's like the Chris Beard situation. I don't know how much notice those players got, but these players didn't have any notice. Zero, zilch, none. They woke up that morning to social media and text messages galore saying, "Hey, your coach is gone. What happened?" That's how those kids found out.
Yeah.
And so Bovey and Hartwell put their heads together and said, we got to find the right guy who can help these kids pick them up off this just emotional letdown and get them up going and get them up going quickly. And they did it. They absolutely did it. I was so impressed with the work that Mr. Hartwell and Mr. Bovey did on this hire. It's a great hire. I think it's a great fit for Utah State.
This late in the process, too, it was a big deal to get it done pretty quickly. just because
that transfer portal is enormous, but it's getting hit hard.
Everybody's got a free year, so if you don't make that decision quickly, who knows what happens?
Yeah.
Because they be like, you know what, this is kind of taking a long time. I'm going to go somewhere where I know what they're doing. It's a big deal.
That's a good point. All right, let's talk some Utah Jazz basketball, shall we? 6328 text into the show. What does Rudy Gobert have to do to win a NBA MVP award?
Do you want the short answer or the hopeful answer?
Yes. You know what? Give me the hopeful answer.
Well, the hopeful answer would be he'd have to probably average like 30 and 15 at least and win Defensive Player of the Year. He'd have to Giannis it. He'd have to be devastating from he'd have to average 30 and 15, probably 3 to 5 blocks. I mean, the Jazz are already the number one team, but that's what he'd have to do. He'd just have to have a statistically nightmare of a year.
He's not doing too bad so far. He's been pretty good this year.
The short answer is he's not. He's never going to.
Yeah, and I will go with you on that one. I don't think he's going to win an NBA MVP award ever. And that's nothing against him. It's just the rest of the league is what it is. Last night, though, it didn't really help. Dallas Mavericks over the Jazz, 111-103. Luka was Luka. Again, 31 points. He was really good. Dorian Smith had a season-high 23. And it's the 5th straight win for the Mavericks, who've caught fire at a really great time. And for the Jazz, they saw their 9-game winning streak come to an end, but it's really not the worst of things. Like, they're still in great shape in the Western Conference.
I believe I heard, listen, when you and Eric went through the schedule, and you predicted that they weren't going to win this one anyway.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to win. I think they were going to beat the Suns, though. They have to win tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on ESPN, the game will be heard on this station. They have to win tomorrow. That is a must-win tomorrow.
Really, so for me, you know what they say about the NBA? It's a make-or-miss league. Dallas made their shots. The role players specifically made their shots. The Jazz didn't, and unfortunately that happens. You know, things don't go so well. The big thing, though, for this, Ajay, and I'm kind of curious what you think is what do you do with Gobert and teams that don't play traditional centers? Because that's what Dallas did. Now, Dallas, I think, had definitely a off night in terms of they're not going to shoot that well every night, and they just caught the Jazz at the wrong time. But there are plenty of teams that the Jazz are going to play where you're going to be like, all right, how do we use Gobert? Because we don't want him to leave the paint, but also teams are going to spread the floor, and we can't give up open shots because three-pointers are how games change quickly. So,
sorry, are you talking about the defensive end or the offensive end?
Defensive end.
So, and that's a liability that you just got to live with. I mean, it really is. And Joel Embiid's getting better from the perimeter. Not great, but better. Kristaps Porzingis would have been a nightmare for Gobert, as is Brook Lopez. But I think you just take it and you just live with it because you know no matter what, Rudy Gobert is just never going to be a great defender in the perimeter. It's just not going to happen. But what he really is and has become so much better at is being a guy who can recover to the ball, who can recover and get to the hoop and get a block. It's that's what's impressed me the most. By the way, Mike Conley had 28 for the Jazz. That led the team. It was Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bogdanovic, and Clarkson scored 16 each. And Rudy Gobert, again, had 14 points, 15 boards. But it was the three-pointers that killed Utah. In fact, Mavericks gave Utah a taste of its own medicine. They were 23 of 49 from behind the arc.
They hit them.
Wow.
They had a good night. And when you read the review of the game and it says if the Mavericks shoot like this every game, then they can play with anyone.
Yeah.
Now that's your indication they don't normally shoot like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
There you go. By the way, 2787 said in reality in regards to how does Gobert win the MVP, in reality not play for the Jazz. The Jazz get no respect from the rest of the NBA.
That actually might be true. Like you think about it, if he's playing for the Lakers, the Bucks, the Suns, the Nets, the Knicks, the Heat, he's getting a lot of attention and people are clamoring over him, but because he plays for Utah, we didn't know you existed.
I think that's a big part of it. But the other issue, too, is he's not the biggest star in his own team, and I think that factors in as well.
By the way, going back to our coaching conversation, 9948, I thought they crushed it with the Dave Arcelanian hire, Mick Dennehy as well. The list goes on and on. We won't know until they start coaching some games, just saying. You're right, we won't know, but what his resume has said so far is really, I really do like.
That's the same. I agree. I mean, it goes without saying. Whenever you do that, you're not going to know. Like, you didn't know if Coach Cal was going to work at Kentucky till he got on the court.
Yeah.
But, again, I think that the resume of Coach Odom is great, and I think that they got a candidate that could have gone a lot better jobs in Coach Anderson.
Yep, absolutely agree. So his in regards of the teams off shooting night, Coach Quinn Snyder said, "Look, when we move the ball, we're really good. When we don't move the ball, and we let it stick, we're selfish and we are stagnant." End quote. Might be talking about a couple of players there, by the way, because there's one possession in. I was watching Jordan Clarkson. He gets the rebound. He comes down court. Joe Ingles is on his right. Bogdanovic is on his left. And then Clarkson fades with the dribble to the left wing. Then dribbles into the lane. Dribbles to the right corner. And then steps out of bounds. And Joe Ingles, when Clarkson dribbles to the left wing, as he's starting his dribble to the left wing, Ingles throws his hands on the air and then puts his hands on his knees and then starts walking backwards as Clarkson's going into the lane and steps on the paint. Like, he walked backwards because he knew what was going to happen. And again, he just felt like it's selfish, stagnant basketball, which is true. And the other difference to this is that in the Mavericks' losses to the Jazz in January, they led for a total of 19 seconds. And that was only in one of the games, and that was by 1 point. On Monday, they went on a 7-0 run, less than 4 minutes into the game, and they didn't trail the rest of the way.
It was their night. They shot well.
And see, that's the thing. Like, Jazz fans can't overreact. It's an 82 or it's a 72 game season this season. And so you can't overreact. Like, it's a loss. It's going to happen. You're not going to win them all. And you're on a 9-game winning streak. You win tomorrow night, though, you're in really good shape. Because that's the one team that's threatening your spot. Win tomorrow night against the Suns, 8 p.m. on ESPN Mountain Time. Game will be on the station, and you're going to be in good shape.
I agree. I mean, the Jazz are up 2.5 games still on the Suns. The Nets have the number 1 seed out east. The Jazz are up 3.5 on them. So I was going to ask you coming in. I thought about it, and I looked at the record yesterday. Is it just me, or does it seem like the energy that surrounded this team in the first half before the All-Star break, it's just not, it feels more stagnant. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it's
like
because,
within the team itself?
A little bit, but I mean, even surrounding it. Like the national media, went in and just hit them hard before the All-Star break. And I feel like it just come out, even though they're still playing very well, they were on the 9-game win streak, it feels almost like flat. Like, you're like, kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't seem as exciting, even though they're still playing very well.
Yeah, because it's old. It's old hat. Like, okay, do we want to make fun of the Jazz again? Like, Nick Ratz, like, I've already talked to about the Jazz 3 times. I'm sick of making fun of them. I wanna, get on my jollies about LeBron James and how he's the greatest player and the greatest athlete in sports history. He's greater than Jim Thorpe. He's faster than Usain Bolt. Like, I mean, good for you, Nick. And if that's what he wants to do, then great. And if Skip Bayless wants to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo and how great Dennis Schroeder is, wonderful. But come playoff time, they're going to have to talk about the Jazz because we're going to get there.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow's a big game for really putting themselves in position to lock up the 1 seed.
Definitely. Do we have any texts? I can close my text line. Oops. Oh, there we go. 9310 text into the show. Recruiting at USU is different than UMBC. At UMBC, maybe those recruits are getting a couple no-name D1 schools looking at them. At Utah State, we have the Mountain West, Pac-12, BYU to compete for recruits. Hopefully, Coach Odom can do well in this.
Look, text line. Like, I love you to death, but again, duh. Recruiting's going to be different no matter what. It's the same thing with Coach Smith at Utah. There's something, I mean, we've talked about a lot in the building in the sports department. There's a difference, I think, in Utah State where you can kind of get away with system guys, and then you got to get talent guys. I think UMBC, he could definitely still implement a similar system, but yeah, he's also going to. The other thing is, it's not just a negative; it's a positive. He can also run his system at UMB that he ran at UMBC with better players.
I agree, absolutely. And I think he'll hit that portal, and he'll look at it, and he'll pick the right kids to fit around the mold that they already got. 9948. I agree with you 100%, Ajay. Jazz won't win the championship this year. They'll choke.
There's so much cynicism in the chat line this year.
I love it.
Today.
I love it.
You're loving the cynicism.
I love it.
All right, fine. Give the people what they want. The Jazz won't win. USU's going to go to the basement of the Mountain West in both football and basketball.
I love it because you know what? I don't think the Jazz are making the NBA Finals, and I think if they face the Lakers in the NBA or in the Western Conference Finals in a 7-game series, it's over in 6.
Yeah, that's probably what I would pick.
Yeah, it ain't going 7.
I mean, I've been in the camp all year that you need to miss the Clippers and the Lakers as long as possible. You hope that they have to run into each other in the second round.
Oh man, my Braves lost today. Gosh dang it, we're 0-4. That jinx better pull through very quickly for me. I'm gonna be very upset.
I would also like to point out to 9310. It's worth noting we went into a deep dive on Coach Odom yesterday, and we'll obviously talk about it a bunch tomorrow. But UMBC was a terrible program. They were terrible.
Yeah.
And he won 20 games, 3 straight seasons. He was the coach of the year this past year. They finished first in their conference.
Dude, they won an NCAA tournament game.
They beat Virginia.
I mean, come on.
So, again, great hire as far as I'm concerned.
And I think he can recruit. I think being able to tell a kid, hey, look, you want to come play at Utah State in front of a packed house Spectrum, passionate fans, great environment. I mean, that's the way to go. That's absolutely the way to go.
It's also worth noting, again, that for any concerns you have of him moving from East Coast to Mountain West, his brother's a scout for the Jazz.
Yeah.
He knows.
His dad coached at Wake Forest and won a few games there.
His family knows Quinn Snyder. His family knows Dennis
Lindsay very well.
Connections.
They have a great relationship with them.
He's all right.
8798. It ain't much, but it's an honest man's work. I would bet all my pennies that the Jazz will not make the NBA Finals.
But the payoff on that is just superb. Really going out on a limb there, 8798.
Hey, you know what? 8798, I'm with you. Thank you, 8798.
Look,
we are together.
9948 says I'm a Braves fan also, Ajay. Good thing there's another 158 games left. I got bad news for you, Ajay. The Braves are on pace. Braves are on pace to finish 0-162 this season. It's not a good pace to be on. That's the pace they're on right now.
Good thing there's another 58 games left. Crap, there's another 158 games left. Oh, man. See, 8798, 9948, and myself, Jazz aren't going to the finals. They're good. They're a great basketball team. The problem is that the Lakers are better when they are healthy. The Clippers are better when they're healthy.
Ooh, you ready for conspiracy? 8798. The NBA's lost millions of dollars already. The last thing they need is the Utah Jazz in the NBA Finals. It will not happen.
Okay, and I'm with him, actually. I'm 100% with him because in 2009, we should have been in the NBA Finals, but the refs and the NBA hosed the Jazz in that Lakers series. Oh, I'm telling you, Kobe was getting an average of 18 free throws a game. Pau Gasol was getting an average of 10. I mean, Pau is going through a breakup with his girlfriend because no girl finds a man who can't rebound attractive. And so he lost his girlfriend, but then the NBA's like, oh, hey, we're going to help you out here.
Look, I don't have anything to say. I'm still in the middle of reading Three Ring Circus. It's a book about the first Lakers.
I need to read that.
Championship run, and it's been confirmed that the refs absolutely made sure that with the Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic Kings team, that they made sure that series got to a Game 7 because the NBA wanted the money. So
don't blame them.
I can't argue with you that there's definitely not things like that have happened.
2787, Jazz will not make it past the second round. 5763, I hope you all have to eat your hat. Go Jazz. All right, so we got somebody. 8798, there's no way on God's green earth the Utah Jazz would have beat the Lakers in that series.
He said that. That's what Ajay's been saying.
Yeah, that's what I said.
5763, thank you for a little bit of optimism. Don't ask me to make a pick because it'll rain on this positive momentum I'm building right now. But, I mean, I'm glad there's a little bit of optimism.
8003, Nancy Kerrigan is better when she's healthy.
That's mean. That's mean, 800.
Jeez, I can't believe I just read that on air.
Nobody took a pipe to LeBron's ankle.
Well, we don't know about. You never know.
He...
And say it. Say it. No, say it.
Do we know Anthony Davis for sure is going to come back? I mean, Achilles injuries are nothing to mess around with.
I'm not
man.
sold on. And that dude, even if he does come back, he's not going to be 100% healthy.
His thing is being hurt. Like last year was the anomaly, and a big part of that is, and look, I think the Lakers were probably the best team last year, but let's not ignore the fact that LeBron, who's played 10 million minutes of basketball, and Anthony Davis, who is a walking crutch waiting to happen with an eyebrow, they both got 4 months off.
Hey, yeah, speaking of which, James Harden's about to miss at least 10 days for Brooklyn Nets. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant's on his way to return.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, please, let's let me get on the court. I need some kind of distraction from my general being a D-bag on the internet.
Dude.
How do you have to be, like, look, I get it. Just because you're a superstar does not mean you're the most confident person in the world. He was busted with the burner phones. He famously said afterwards on the internet he was not going to give them up, and then he gets busted again. Learn your lesson. Yeah. One of these times it's going to catch up to him, and he ain't going to make hundreds of millions of dollars anymore.
Yeah.
Just shut up. You're Kevin Durant.
Here's the thing, is anybody okay, so if Donovan Mitchell tweets that at somebody, what's the punishment? Is it a $50,000 fine, or is it a $100,000 fine and a 5-game suspension?
Oh, I'm sure it's more severe. He's not as big to the NBA's bottom line.
John Russell texts in, Davis is not coming back. Look what happened to Durant when he tried to come back too early.
It's worth noting.
Okay, but here's the thing, is that Durant tore his Achilles.
Yes, that's different.
Davis didn't.
Yeah, but I think you would also argue Davis has a history of always being banged up. Durant, besides what, he broke his foot that one year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Which is kind of, it's not really a freak injury. It just happens. They're actually pretty easy to recover from. It's been pretty healthy. That's what I'm saying. Are we sure Davis is coming back? Because I got to be honest, I think LeBron and not Davis is certainly beatable in the Western Conference playoffs.
I would agree with that. I'd absolutely agree with that. Yeah. Davis is better. What?
Oh, here we go. 8798. Ajay, the Logan Cubs were better when you were healthy.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Okay, you want to talk about the bad news Bears. You want to talk about that freshman team that I coached with the kid crapping his pants? I was playing on a team like that. Dude, I made that team great.
You corked the bat, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, no.
We heard it first.
And, dude, my batting average was low because I kept getting beamed because teams hated me. For no reason at all. I didn't do anything wrong. But this one
OPS.
Specific team would bean me every time I go up to the plate. Like, I knew it was coming. They throw a fastball inside, miss, throw a curveball outside, a ball up, and then, bam, you just knew it was coming.
Did you charge the mound?
No.
I would have charged
I think I stared him down one time, and the guy looked at me and just scoffed, and then he picked me off at first.
Well, you can't let that happen. That's embarrassing.
I swear he balked, though. I still today swear he balked.
8003. Ajay, you make this show great.
I know! See? It's people like 8003. It's people like 8798. Hit my music.
You and my dad would get along together so well.
Oh, I know.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. Me and 8003 and me and 8798 are going out for a couple of Sprites on the rocks with bendy straws probably later on tonight now. Drinks on me, guys.
The Jazz stink. Utah State's never going to win again.
Hey, just because you don't agree and you don't appreciate me being a loyal fan of the Utah Jazz, instead of being a realist, I am being a realist, AJ. Are you ever a realist about your team?
Yes.
Are you though? Really?
Have you asked me about the Bears and I said they suck?
Okay, let's be. Don't give me the Bears
example. How many times
example.
You asked me about the Cubs and I said they suck?
Okay, so the Cubs, I can sort of understand. They won one championship.
How many times you asked me about the Bulls and I said
that
they
one we'll
suck?
go with. Okay, that one. No, you never say the Bulls suck. You never said that.
I think the Vucevic trade was stupid because they still can't get into the playoffs. Look, you did. I don't want to hear it. I'm a Purdue fan. You know what our history is? Getting jinxed. I don't want to hear it. I absolutely do not want to hear it. I'm as real as it comes to my team.
You sound right now.
You would get along with my dad though because Purdue got upset in the first round of the tournament this year, right? My dad goes on and Purdue, there are always disappointments in the tournament. Blah 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 blah. I talked to him on the phone the next day. I was like, "Hey, do you remember what Purdue did the last time they were in the tournament before this year?" And he goes, "No, they were in the Elite Eight. Is that a disappointment to you?" Well, no, I guess not. Yeah, a little bit of overreaction, don't you think? Well, they should have won. Yeah, they should have, but upsets happen. Ohio State got knocked off by a 15 seed.
Oh, man, I'm so glad I finally got you riled up.
8003 says we need Ajay t-shirts. Here's a question, 8003. What do you want the saying to be?
Oh, no. 8003 and 8798. And you know what? 9948. Since you're a Braves fan, you can come with us. Here's what we're going to do. 5 years ago, I accidentally got drunk. Here's what happened. I was at Texas Roadhouse, and I ordered a wild strawberry lemonade. I didn't know, because I've never drank alcohol, that there was alcohol inside of it.
Me either.
So I drank the first glass, and it was delicious. And I was like, get me another one. I drank the second one, and I had ordered some cheese fries and a roll. And all of a sudden, I started kind of fading in and out. Again, I've never had alcohol in my life, so I didn't know what was going on. All I remember is that I was singing to Belinda Carlisle in a really loud voice, going 65 miles or like 75 on the freeway getting home. My wife then takes me inside, and then I'm like half naked with a laundry basket over my head running into walls. I drunk called my friend, and then I was so angry, and this is not even a joke. I was so angry that I was naked in a laundry basket, and my wife took a photo of me, but you can't see anything because it's pure art. I had to send you the photo. I had to frame it and sign it for you.
Oof. How about for Eric? Next time he wins pick 6, which will be the next time.
So John Russell texts me and he says, stick to writing in the laundry basket. I wasn't writing. I was just sitting in it, and it was beautiful art. So what we'll do is we'll put that picture on the shirt.
Oh, jeez.
And then we'll sell. We'll call him Brown Mamba Mentality.
8003 suggestion is just your face like Jason Alexander.
I love that shirt.
6891 says I accidentally get drunk every weekend.
Okay, but I didn't know that wild meant alcohol.
Look, buddy, you're talking to someone else who never drinks ever. I don't know.
You know better.
What to tell you.
You know better. Or we can get one of like me playing for the Logan Cubs, and I went to
Could your
bunt.
nickname just be Beanball?
Dude, yeah. See, here's the thing: and even when I didn't mean to get beaned, I still got beaned. So, for example, I went to square bunt, and I'm bad at bunting. Horrible at bunting. It's an easy sacrifice to get the man from first to second.
Right.
I bunt it, and it goes off the plate, and it hits me in the Wachobis.
Oof.
And I fall. Here's the problem, is that it was fair.
Oof. Well, I mean, you were going to be an easy out anyway. You were bunting, so.
Dude, I had some speed back then.
Oh, not at that point in time. I don't know if you can call for a sub runner mid play, but I think I would have tried.
You're way up on play. Go.
Please go.
Here's the problem: is the guy that was in the dugout. He was like 9 months pregnant with a food baby, and so he wasn't gonna make it to first, even if he was 5 feet from there.
Jeez.
That's the Logan Cubs history right there.
Your guys' team construction here. Who's the general manager?
Dude, it was me.
You ain't doing so hot there.
No,
buddy.
it wasn't. Okay, wait. I wasn't the general manager. I take that back. There was another guy who was the general manager. I was just the. I don't know. I was the guy who was the best player on the team, whatever that's called.
Score.
Welcome to the program.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
I never thought about his golfing career, if it was going to continue. When you get to be 45 or 46, just normal golfers on tour, you don't play competitive golf at a very high level on a consistent basis. But he's already had his career defined. I think he's the greatest golfer of all time.
Dan Patrick. The Dan Patrick Show.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. A Fan.
There's a lot of strain on various industries right now. Supplies stretched thin as demand is at an all-time high. If you are building or remodeling and are looking for ideas for stone to face your home, it's crazy. Coldwater Stone and Tree Mountain and Castellite and Logan want to take that frustration and challenge away from you. They are a local homegrown business with stone products made by Coldwater and sold by Castellite. Stop in and make your choice today for brick, block, rock, paver, and tile. Go where the pros go. Online at Castellite.com.
Cache Valley is absolutely beautiful. It's always fun to be outdoors. And now is the time to let the Allergy Clinic inside the Cache Valley Hospital help with venom testing for spring and summer. The Allergy Clinic offers testing and treatment to life-threatening stings from honeybees, yellow jackets, white-faced hornets, yellow hornets, and wasps. Independent physicians Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette offer Cache Valley a full-time allergy clinic in 2 locations, Providence and inside the Cache Valley Hospital. The Allergy Clinic accepts most insurances, including SelectMed. Call the Allergy Clinic at 753-7880, 753-7880.
Imagine your wedding day Elegant, simple yet stunning, stress-free. It's your day. It's all about you. Whether you want small and simple or a little more, the Riverwoods Conference Center will accommodate your every need. Choose the inside ballroom elegance or outside along the beautiful Logan River. A Riverwoods event planner works personally with you to make sure your event is exactly how you've envisioned it. And you can rest assured the Riverwoods Conference Center is following every guideline from the CDC and Health Department. Google Riverwoods Conference Center or call 750-5151.
The Aggies are number one here. The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
AJ Nut, Ajay, Salvesen, Piranhas tweets in. I missed Piranhas. Haven't heard from him in a while. That is a great story of you getting accidentally plastered. Okay, so here's the rest of it. So I get plastered. I'm sitting in a laundry basket butt naked. More. And then my wife has to calm me down. She sits me on the bed, and I'm watching like 10 Things I Hate About You. And I'm like having my cheese fries and my roll, but I'm drunk as all out. I called my friend drunk accidentally. And then the next day, I work at Maverick. So, and I go to work that day, and I am incredibly, what's that when you're like aftermath?
Hangover.
Yes,
Hungover.
that. And I have like a migraine. I mean, I am just in bad shape. And they're like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm sick. I have a fever. And they're like, you have a fever? I'm like, yeah, I have a fever. I have a really bad headache. And they're like, oh, you should go home. So I'm walking out, dude, and I'm still just staggering. Luckily, my wife hadn't left me yet. And she picks me up and she takes me home. Dude, all that stuff she had to tell me because I didn't remember a dang thing. I was so out of it.
Oh, I've some of those nights.
Kids, when you're going to Texas Roadhouse, do not get the wild strawberry lemonade. Just get a strawberry lemonade. That's all you need.
I feel like I have to match her. So for my 21st birthday.
Oh, no.
So for my 21st birthday, we're going up and around campus. I'm doing what kids do for their 21st birthday. So we're waiting to get into this bar like probably halfway through the night that I was existent on the plane. It's near the end of the night that I remember. So we're in line, and there are potatoes scattered all over campus, and no one has any idea why. So we're waiting to get into this bar, and this guy stands next to me and goes, hey, be cool, be cool. I didn't cut, just be cool. And I am plastered because it's my 21st birthday. This is like the 5th bar we're going to. And I go, dude, what's going on? And he goes, well, me and my friends came down from Michigan State, and we stole a whole sack of potatoes from Five Guys. And they totally chased us down, but they caught all my friends. They haven't caught me yet. I was like, dude, don't worry, we got you covered. So then he got in with us, and we talked to him for like half an hour to 45 minutes, and I don't know that they ever solved that. And that's about where my night ends, where I can remember my body still wandered around for about another half hour. And apparently in that state, if you are wearing some sort of military outfit, I will stop my entire friend group and shake every one of your hands. Unconscious. I was conscious, but mentally gone.
So since we're in this like sins confession?
Yeah.
I got one more, and I've never told anybody this story. I've never told anybody this story.
You may not want an Ajay t-shirt after this.
Yeah, you may not. I was having dinner with a friend in Lehigh at a restaurant, and I was going to pull in, and I parked, and I opened my door, and I dinged this like beautifully painted orange Mustang. I mean, it was gorgeous, and I dinged it. You could see where I dinged it. I'm going to HELL double hockey sticks. So what I did is I did the brave thing and I did the honest thing. I shut the door and I moved my car about 60 yards to the left, and I moved. And then to protect myself, I walked in. I said, "Hey, are there cameras around the parking lot? Because I think someone dinged my car." And they're like, "No, there's no cameras." I'm like, "Okay, no, well, no worries. It's okay." I walked away.
That's not suspicious.
And then and then the people who were going to their orange Mustang. Luckily, they were senior citizens.
Luckily, they were senior citizens,
and they didn't notice. And they left.
Ajay, you should feel terrible. It's okay.
I know. I should.
I'm not going to tell the story, but I destroyed an entire apartment complex awning when I left New Mexico.
Oh my gosh. And then I left. Okay, enough of the sin confession here. Our listeners are probably running away because they're like,
we're down to earth.
I'm pretty sure our front desk Vicky's getting like 100 phone calls like, can you get these guys off the air? My kids are listening. All right, so tonight's games for the NBA. Here's what you've got.
All right, I'm going to rate them.
Again, Harden is out for tonight's game for 10 days.
It's a neck thing still, right? Is that what he has, like a neck thing?
No, it's a hamstring.
Oh, is his a hamstring?
Yeah. All right, so Chicago right now, your Chicago Bulls are leading the Indiana Pacers by 2 at the end of 1.
Snooze fest.
New Orleans and Atlanta.
Snooze fest.
Philadelphia and Boston.
I'd watch that.
That's at 5:30 on TNT. Lakers in Toronto at 5:30.
Snooze fest.
Memphis and Miami.
I like Ja Morant, so I'd watch that.
Detroit and Denver.
Way snooze fest.
Milwaukee and Golden State on TNT at 8 o'clock.
I'd probably check that one out.
And Portland and the Clippers.
I'd definitely watch that one. Did you see, by the way, how bad Golden State got smacked by Toronto the other night?
Was it by 50 or like what was it by?
It was like 130 to 80 or something like
that. 130 to 70.
They got smacked.
Yeah,
Good
I saw that.
Gosh, I didn't know that happened in real life. It was terrible. By the way, 9773 had left for 15 minutes. My sports show turned into a confessional. Hey, we got it all here. We'll give you financial advice.
We take care of you.
Sports. We're real people.
We're showing you our blood.
By the way, really, this is completely unrelated to anything. I just thought about it.
Okay.
But Ajay was talking about money the other day, and I've never heard anybody use this phrase, but I'm going to use it from now on. He referred to money as presidential flashcards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you know where I got that off of?
I have no idea.
Have you ever seen that thing you do?
Maybe a long time ago.
Dude, it's when it's the band about the Oneaters.
Oh, okay.
With Tom Hanks in it.
Loves that movie.
Yeah, so it's when Lenny gets handed they get handed their cash for performing at Filipiano's for their first concert and at the pizza restaurant. And the bar guy or the owner comes in and says, "Do you know what?" And it's like $600. He's like, "Do you know what this is?" And he goes, "Presidential flashcards." I've used it ever since.
I've never heard of it. I heard Ajay say it the other day. I was like, "Oh, that's my favorite. I'm in."
Hey, I'm doing a good job on Cool, ain't I?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really.
Look, no one's great their first time.
Hey, I'm doing really good, am I?
I didn't say you're bad. I said yes.
I love that line. You're doing okay.
I do love that line.
I know. Now you're gonna steal it without even giving me credit.
Probably.
That's how it goes around here.
How comedy works.
Hey, okay, so the NBA right now, this is where we stand at in regards of standings. Again, this is as of right now. Western Conference. Oh, I went to the wrong one. Wow. That's
okay. The Jazz are in first.
The Jazz are in first.
Checked.
Brooklyn's in first in the Eastern Conference at 35-16. 76ers are one game behind them. Bucks are at 32-17. Hawks at 26-24.
I did not realize they had bounced back, but you look at the records. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
It's really just the first three.
Yeah, like Hawks and Heat are at 26-24. Hornets and Celtics are 25-24 and 25-25 respectively.
Jeez, what a disappointment. For
Knicks are 25-26. Wait, for who?
The Celtics.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
also,
I'm with you.
I just want to...
Wait, does Gordon Hayward matter that much?
No. I want to continue to hit on this bandwagon because Danny Ainge is not a good general manager.
Yeah, okay.
What is their problem? They don't have a center.
Hold on.
What did they do? Absolutely nothing.
They go from being a top 4, top 3 Eastern Conference team to now scraping the bottom of the Eastern Conference playoff board. Is it Gordon Hayward? Because Gordon Hayward... No, hold on. But he took the Charlotte Hornets, and right now they're 6th. At 25-24.
Cool.
Without Kemba Walker and with Gordon Hayward, they're 6th. Now, Gordon Hayward's out for 4 weeks with a sprained ankle.
Shocker.
No, but you see but that's proof. That's proof that Gordon Hayward made Boston who they are.
No.
Okay, explain why they're that bad then, why they weren't that bad last year. What's the transformation?
Why they weren't that bad this year or last year? Because
how did they go from last year to this year of being a top 3 team to being a bottom team?
Because Brad Stevens has shown he can't coach egos. Also, Kemba Walker has had a bulky knee, and he's not as good this year. They swapped out, and everybody said that's going to be addition by subtraction, which I think to a certain extent it was because Kyrie Irving is a royal pain in the neck. But he can't coach egos. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are coming into their own, especially Tatum, and Brad Stevens can't handle it. Also, Danny Ainge is a terrible general manager. Again, what did they need? A center. What did he not get in the offseason? A sinner. What did he trade at the trade deadline? A sinner. So I don't know if you're following along there. He subtracted from a position they already didn't have anything at. Danny Ainge is terrible because he refuses to make deals that he doesn't outright win. And because of that, Boston will never win.
Okay, so wait a minute. Because of a couple of deals, they go from being a 3-team to a 7-team and a lose. Well, they're 500 right now.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Brooklyn had to jump up, and they fell back one spot, and now they're in the jumble of the East. Brad Stevens can't handle egos. The general manager's not very good, and no, it was not Gordon Hayward.
Leon Rose text in, Ajay trying to defend a BYU again. No, I'm defending Gordon Hayward.
What BYU guy are you defending?
Danny Ainge.
He's not defending Danny Ainge. He's defending Gordon Hayward. The answer is still no.
Okay, in the Western Conference, Jazz 1, Suns 2. In fact, they're 3 games behind the Jazz. Clippers are 5 games behind the Jazz right now, 33-18. Boy, they've hit a rough patch too. Lakers are 31-19. Blazers, Mavericks, Grizzlies round out your top 8. Now remember, there is that play-in game with the 9-10 game. Spurs and Warriors are in those spots. 24-24 are the Spurs. 23-27 are the Warriors. Meanwhile, in the Eastern Conference, Pacers are 22-26, and the Bulls are 20-28.
Whoa. For those unfamiliar, I would check this out. So I believe the way it works is 9 plays 10, winner plays loser of 7 and 8, and winner gets the 8 spot. It's kind of weird, but
that'd be true.
Whatever.
That'd be true. Yes. Correct.
How about a disappointing? I really thought that even without Klay Thompson, the Warriors are better than 10. Then, man, can we just give up on Stan Van Gundy? It's not going to work. Or Jeff. Which one's coaching the Pelicans?
No, Stan.
Stan.
I gave up on Stan a long time ago.
I agree. I thought it was a terrible hire, but
I gave up on Stan before Stan gave up on his diet.
Ajay and I would coach the Pelicans to a better record than him.
Yeah. Yeah, with the talent they got, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Not even a question.
It's a travesty that they're ranked that low. I'm not saying they should be a top 4 seed, but they should be in the hunt.
The other thing about the Warriors, I think you're kind of starting to figure out what made the Warriors during that dynasty, right? Like, it wasn't just Stephen Curry like everyone says it was.
It was their bench. They had a really good bench, too.
They had Draymond Green, they had Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant came in. They had and that's the thing, is that they had depth. They had a great bench.
No, they broke that up for Kevin Durant, and they weren't able to replace it because I was just spending a ton of money. 9773 texted it, says, straight up question for AJ. Will the NBA ever let the Jazz win an NBA championship?
Why is AJ being asked that question?
Well, because they know your answer is going to be no.
That's because it's realistic. What's your answer?
Ever? I mean, how do you say no to ever?
Because they'll never win a championship. Dude, they had their best teams in 97-98, in 07, and they got swept by the Spurs in 07. They didn't, I mean, Michael Jordan took care of them in back-to-back finals appearances. So
I would still say you can't say no to ever.
Yeah, you can say no.
Did you ever think that Dirk Nowitzki and
okay, they know what they could win a championship if there's only 2 last teams on this earth that exist in the NBA, and it is the Jazz and nobody else. Then that is the only way and they'll win by forfeit because that nobody else team shows up, or doesn't show up at all. Then the Jazz are going to be your NBA championships via forfeit. That is the only way they'll ever win a title ever.
Tell you what, if the Nets win one this year, I would not. I mean, I know Brooklyn is a part of New York, so it's a huge market, blah, 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 blah. But no one ever thought that Brooklyn was going to win one. So,
has Brooklyn won a championship?
I've said if they win one this year.
They aren't going to win this year.
I'm kind of with you. I just think that if Embiid is healthy, I think he's going to go for like
Me
50
too.
and 25.
I think the Sixers are going to be a problem.
But it's if Embiid's healthy, which is a big question.
All right, let's take a break. Coming back, we'll wrap up the full court press here on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan. We'll have our stats that blew our mind and our player of the week.
This is The Herd.
The winner in this is also
Colin Cowherd.
Tiger Woods was driving way too fast on a road nobody should drive fast on. He has, through the years, liked driving fast. It mirrors his life. And as one of the great writers of the 20th century once wrote, F. Scott Fitzgerald, find me a hero, and I'll write you a tragedy.
This is The Herd.
Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Hi, this is John Horton, General Manager at ARS. COVID-19 is a mess, but it doesn't have to be. We at ARS recognize your desire to take the best care of your workspace and home in order to protect your family, staff, and other building occupants. We have certified technicians that use leading industry processes, state-of-the-art equipment and technology, and cutting-edge products when disinfecting. We understand your needs and are ready to help. Remember, got a mess? Call ARS.
Here's Chad Norton, the lawn doctor, with another tip for your lawn.
It's been a wet, cool, crazy year for your lawn. Soil temperatures have been slow to warm up. Over the next few weeks, you'll see weeds fight for space and try to take over your lawn. Dandelions pack about 200 seeds on each flower. Those seeds can blow up to 5 miles and live up to 7 years. We can help you win the weed battle. Call the Lawn Doctor at 753-LAWN or go to lawndoctor.com.
Better weather, longer days, and the urge to get outside. Spring has sprung. Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical, and we'd love to help you scoot into spring and enjoy $200 off our high-quality scooters. Bringing wellness home is our motto, so also enjoy $200 off our best-selling lift chairs. For locations and information, visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit alpinehomemedical.com.
It's that first kiss, that moment in time.
Engagement season is in full swing, and Jarek's Fine Jewelry has been helping hundreds of couples find the perfect ring. If you are getting engaged, you have to come browse our collections. Sometimes you may find the perfect ring in just a minute, or we can help you custom create your own design. Oh, and with Mother's Day almost here, talk to us about designing the perfect mother's ring.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
Interviews, analysis, and a little bit of fun mixed in. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Full Court Press. AJ Knight, I'm Ajay Salvesen.
That was close.
AJ, I know. Quick recovery. 9-7. So Cody texted in, our intern. I just need AJ's personal number so I can send my questions in that way. Okay, I'm really getting sick of this love fest for AJ. What has he done that I haven't done?
I answered every text that came through. I answered honestly, diligently, and with the best of my ability. You got a question for? I'm here all week. I don't know if we said that yesterday.
Oh yeah, he's here through. Actually, no. And then you coming back next Monday?
Or yeah, okay. I'm here through Monday, and then they're kicking me out again because
No, he's coming back. Because by the way, during March when things get slow, AJ's going to be a part of the show in a regular manner. So
text
then it's AJ and Eric and the rest of the texting world versus me. That's going to be fun.
I still got to get Eric something for the pick six.
Oh, dude, I still owe you. So I got to get you something, and I still got to get Eric something. I'm working on that. Eric might just get a bag of bubblegum candy. I'll get you something better. You deserve better than Eric.
I got to get him something. I just remember that.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into our stat up.
Right.
Reminder, our player of the week.
Let's take a look at the numbers. It's the stat that blew our minds.
He did what?
On the Full Court Press.
Wow, that blew my mind.
AJ, stat that blew your mind. Go.
For me, it's twofold. One, the last night's championship game was the highest combined record of two national championship competitors. I think they said since like the 60s, 70s. There's two combined losses. And two, the fact that Baylor never trailed. They led the entire way against the team that everyone thought for the whole season's consensus. They're picked number one in the way too early polls for next year. Those are my two stats that blew your mind.
Wow. That is good. Here's another one for you. Speaking of recruiting, right, for Baylor, since seeding began in the NCAA tournament in 1979, this year's Baylor squad is the third team to win the national championship without any McDonald's All-Americans, joining the 2002 Maryland squad and the 2014 UConn team. Baylor trailed for 1 minute and 3 seconds in the Final Four, all in Houston's game. That's it.
That's nuts, too, because, now they won one. They're going to step it up a level. They ain't going anywhere. That's insane.
Yeah, so that's a stat that blew my mind. Who is your player of the week?
This one's easy. I think you and I might have the same one. It's Mitchell from Baylor. I mean, good gosh, he did a number on Gonzaga. They talked about how he'd gone 67, 68 minutes in the tournament without a turnover. He was just insane. He was so fast. He's such a good shooter. He sets the team. He's amazing. Mitchell for Baylor.
Yeah, Davion Mitchell's my guy, too. And just the way he defended last night, I mean, he was all over the floor, too. He'd go from left wing to right wing to the left block to the right. I mean, he was everywhere. that Baylor defense, I just still can't get over it. I really can't, AJ. It was backyard, beat you up bully basketball, and Gonzaga just could never handle it.
Yeah, I mean they looked faster, they were more physical. It was just they were ready to go, and Gonzaga came out flat.
Which I'm kind of amazed that Suggs had 22 despite everything that was going on. Like the fact that Suggs had 22 is almost a compliment more than it is a bag, because dude, that defense wasn't letting anything come easy.
Yeah, I think he was the only one that really looked like he belonged on the court.
Oh
with
yeah.
Baylor.
Oh heavens gracious, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Could not agree with you more. Absolutely. AJ, let's get into some things of what you may have missed throughout the day. Some things you've already heard about, including 2 women who have filed lawsuits versus Watson. They speak out, they show their face, they say their name. Watson he has went from hero to zero really, really quickly.
They just keep coming. It is a huge number.
Yeah, that's scary right now. What's going on there? The other intriguing part to it is that there's people defending him. Like, just because you're defending him doesn't mean there's other stuff that was going on. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he's innocent until he's proven guilty. It's just I think it's hard to think when the number gets that high. You're not like, all right, some of those are probably true. There's no way all of them are false. I think that's just human nature.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with you. And then in regards of, not a lot going on, but in regards to college football, the All-American, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, Gussie, I believe, or Darius. He's the ex-running back for LSU. He was a great ball player.
Darius, guys.
Got a sexual assault charge,
Idiot.
and yeah, he's in deep, deep trouble as well. Speaking of people who are in trouble, that's definitely one of them. In other news in NCAA football, Wisconsin Badgers AD Barry Alvarez, who had hired Gary Anderson from Utah State, he's leaving.
Wait,
he's retiring. Sorry, he's been there for
I think that's the
60
second
years.
time he's retired.
It's nothing new, right? Nothing new.
He's kind of a big staple in college football.
It's been official that Hubert Davis will be the new head coach at UNC. And Spider is transferring from Villanova to Syracuse. That's a really good get for them, actually. So, and San Jose State, as already mentioned, has officially hired Tim Miles. That Mountain West Conference is going to be fun to watch.
Loaded with coaching talent.
Absolutely. All right, AJ and I will be back with me tomorrow. I'm Ajay Salvesen. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. If you missed it, we'll have it on our podcast, and you can go to 1069thefan.com. Don't forget, tomorrow's presser with Ryan Odom will be airing on this very station at 11 a.m. We'll talk to you all tomorrow on a Wednesday.